Got a USB input.
That is red tape.
All right, there you go. So, wake up, everybody.
Wake
Welcome to
up,
the
wake
Tampa
up.
Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that?
And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. What's good, y'all?
Woo, the work.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Money. I thought you said money.
It's Monday.
I like
Monday. Okay.
Money Monday.
Well, let me put my headphones on. That's why I can't hear.
Okay, it's Money Monday. Okay, tell me about Money Monday. What that means exactly?
Get money on Monday.
Get money, get money.
The kickoff of a lot of people week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you start getting back to the grind.
Okay,
I think I started my week on Sunday.
I think my week just keep going.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
that's
I'm in one long week. Yeah,
one long week.
just a long week.
It's
Yeah.
like the song that never ends.
Yeah, it really is.
On Groundhog Day.
It really is.
Just keep on
No,
repeating
no,
itself.
Groundhog
not
Day,
Groundhog
Jim
Day. Not Groundhog Day. It's a different day.
Yeah, a different day.
But it just keep going though. It does not stop, man. It really doesn't stop. So I'm trying to do this thing right here. But it is a lot of good stuff that's happening though, man.
That's real. This weekend I was out to Saturday morning shop.
Okay.
Renee had it at Villas on 34,
Mm-hmm.
right across from Wawa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
retirement home.
I mean,
No.
Whatever they do there.
Yeah, that's what they do there, right?
Yeah, that's a retirement home.
Whatever they do there.
I remember we used to go there and swim.
It used to be a hotel.
With
You know
permission
what?
or without.
Man, look,
You know what? My
do I have the right
mom,
to
my mom had her wedding reception there.
Okay. At
The Villa.
At the Villa?
The
Yeah.
Villa.
Oh,
I remember
okay.
when it used to be the Howard Johnson Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Hojo.
The Hojo. I
Who
remember
remember the Hojo? Who remember the Hojo?
I remember the Hojo. I do remember that.
Good morning, Miss Teresa. Good morning, Shayna.
Shayna, how y'all doing?
I'm
Good
trying to
morning,
get this other
Chandra.
angle.
Hey. Good morning, son. Oh, yes, it was that Urban Drinkery. They had the poetry thing on
Okay.
last night.
Okay.
Okay.
And forgive me for not knowing the name, calling it the poetry thing.
That was the event.
And good morning,
We went to
Sharonda.
the poetry
The
thing.
poetry thing.
We went to the poetry
It
thing.
was real groovy.
Okay.
I like poetry.
You had a groovy time at the
yeah.
poetry
You
thing.
like snap your fingers.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you
You
do the
know-
step?
I don't know about that.
I mean, you snap your
So
finger.
I mean, I don't know.
You
I'm gonna
still.
say I know that the South has like a lot of roots into the jazz and stuff like
I
that.
was
But
just gonna say that.
I really feel like I should have been like up north. I should have been born up north.
Up
That-
north with the heat.
Right, because I don't like the cold.
You had
Okay.
to God for a lot, man.
I know.
You had to God for
But
a lot.
listen, because I love like,
I want going up north, but I know. Yeah, and
but I need everything in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah,
And,
to be,
and to be okay.
yeah, like if we can bring up north to Florida, like the whole vibe they have,
Right.
the jazz, yeah, like all of that other stuff. Because
But no, hold on.
the rich culture that you get, like in Philadelphia and New York, when you go to those clubs, like we tried to create it here.
But-
It's just kind of hard.
But
Go
to
ahead.
say that we are like a jazz haven. Right?
Okay.
So some of that history that's up north is right here. The St. Pete on Deuces. You know,
That's
right
true.
here
At the Manhattan Casino.
at Manhattan Casino.
I kind of said that, but we just don't bring it. We don't embrace it here.
Who is we?
That's French. That's
Who are
French.
you talking about?
So we
that's the French
already.
weed.
So do I have to do the blanket statement that we never like directly talking about it?
That'd be
It's just
That'd be helpful.
as the collective of people.
What you gonna do?
You know what? It's one of these mornings.
Yeah, it really is.
It's one of these
Look, you gonna have one of those mornings.
No,
This is one of those
no.
mornings.
So I've seen like the poetry nights here,
Okay.
but they don't last.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People say they want it, but then when they get it, nobody really support it.
Okay.
We don't have like the real jazz clubs where you
Let's
just
say
go.
we haven't had.
We haven't had.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
We haven't. Because we say we don't. Yeah.
You gotta say we don't
Because I'm being mindful of how I talk.
Yeah,
okay, be mindful.
And the way we speak about these things, because I'm realizing the power of my words. And so if we say we don't have, that means it doesn't exist. But so we can say we haven't had, and now that means that it's still possible that we can
okay,
move
let's
it
say
in.
it.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
it. Because you know what? It'll be somebody that'll be out there like, what you mean? I've been doing poetry in my basement for 20 years and ain't nobody.
So I'm gonna
What you mean?
agree with you. It said we bring it here, but then we don't. People don't really support it. Like I have.
Because it's probably somebody right now playing the classic
That's why
jazz.
we have a huge jazz scene that's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for decades.
Shout out to Henry Ashwood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, Henry Ashwood. So I'll tell you my Henry Ashwood story. So I remember when we had Mr. Muhammad Cleaners on 16th Street. That's when I met him. So we had Mr. Muhammad's Cleaners and we had Teens Cafe. We was kind of grouping pretty good then. And Teens Cafe is Amina. So that was her first restaurant shake. You know what I mean? It was called Teens Cafe. And so we had like two spots right there on 16th Street, across from Gelazzo. And Tanya Fudge was doing hair next to us. So we had Mr. Muhammad's Cleaners, Tanya Fudge, Teens Cafe. And then Henry Ashwood came in. He was selling prepaid legal services. And he also had his jazz CD. I bought his jazz CD. And after my wedding, we got married. We got married at the courthouse. I put in Henry Ashwood jazz CD and we rolled it out. We drove to, just kind of ride to Henry Ashwood. And that was 1998. No, it was 1998. Yeah, it was. So yeah, but jazz is real.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. So we do have groupies.
We got more than groupies.
Okay.
Groupies is what we attend. So that's what we got to do. Because this is what I learned. Because I didn't know a lot about the jazz scene. I didn't know a lot about the poetry scene.
Okay.
And I was feeling like we were bringing this to the city.
Right.
And then once with them people like, man, we've been rocking.
Right.
We've been rocking. I don't know where y'all at. Groupies is on Mondays, but we still do it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right on, man.
Different locations and places.
Right on. So another thing that's good, when we talk about what's good, this Saturday we're doing a ribbon cut at the lift station, 87. So it's a community enhancement project is what it's called. Come on, y'all. Look, we ain't acknowledge that we got all these people on here. Toronto. You got Carla. See one of them orders?
Yeah, I didn't get part of it.
Okay.
Y'all need to kind of coffee.
That's like a real shot. Do y'all see the shot?
I'm juicing, y'all.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm like coming off this fast, so I ain't been doing that in the mornings. But so this Saturday is the ribbon cutting for Lift Station 87, and then we doing it's a community enhancement project. So you probably seen it. It was one of those projects that had to be done in order to deal with wet weather and the flows of wet weather.
Due to the dumping of the sludge and the sludge and the crud.
Yep.
Into Clam Bayou and other places in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
This was like FDOT or like somebody big.
It was an infrastructure project. And because long overdue infrastructure project, and because we are on higher ground, shout out to Charles Park and the people over there, and us of how we are, highland. And they said it was a perfect spot for the lift station. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that the lift station,
God bless
America. God bless America. Yeah. So they said that the lift station 87 would definitely be. So we wanted to beautify it. Like, we didn't just want to have another, big structure. And so we worked with the city and the designers. Short version of a long story. We got a lot to cover though. Short version of a long story. Come out Saturday because we're gonna have Jabari Reed. He's actually gonna talk about the art.
Okay.
That's the thing.
The art.
Yeah. And then also we invite you to Carbon Street. Street Festival and mural painting on 11th Avenue and 46th Street.
And that's when they paint your car.
That's when they paint your car. Yep.
I'm up there trying to get my car in.
Yep.
And y'all know, when they first said it, I was like excited. I want my car painted. But then I realized.
No,
it's going to be painted.
Yeah, I need it painted.
It's going to be painted.
I need it.
It's not just like, you're not getting sprayed. You're not getting the bowling ball paint.
Can I pick the argument? It might be a bowling ball.
I don't know.
I gotta talk to the people.
Yeah, okay.
I'm ready to go talk to them and tell them what I want.
Well, they'll be there Saturday from 10 to 3. And it's a colorful, family-friendly celebration, kicking off the Shine Mural Festival. And the other part of this story is when we're doing it on 11th Avenue and 46th Street, so we're going to paint a mural in the street. The original intent was supposed to put it on 15th Avenue because of speeding. And so, these murals have been done, studies have been done to show that they help to slow down and calm traffic. We wanted to put it on 15th Avenue, but the spot that we wanted to put it in, the transportation department wouldn't approve it because of different reasons. So we moved it to 11th Avenue and 46th Street because they're having a problem with speeding over there as well. And we're going to be out there, we're blocking it off, having a street festival as part of Carmada. So it's a great weekend in Charles Park. Again, it's going to start. The ribbon cutting is at 9:30 at Lift Station 87, and then we leaving the ribbon cutting going over to 11th Avenue and 43rd Street for Carmada. It's produced and supported by the National Endowment for the Arts, Creative Arts Nellis, and shout out to Janae, Privy, and the others who they've been rocking with us, just to pull this off. And it's been like a real journey to get this done, man. So I'm excited that it's actually going to happen because we've been trying to put it off for a minute. And now we are here.
See, you know what's the long side of the story, but
okay, go ahead. All right, what's the other
next?
Elmo.
Everybody, let's move on.
Everybody, let's move on. Let me see what we got here. So, this day in history.
Go for it.
I didn't even ask, right? I was going to ask that, but I didn't. So today is October 10th, and it's the 283rd day of the Gregorian calendar. On this day, Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned after being charged with income tax evasion. This was under Nixon. I think that was Nixon. Vice President. The women.
That was a tough administration.
That was a tough one, boy. Yeah, they weren't dead, boy. The Women's Social and Political Union was founded in Britain to support voting rights for women, and the Chicago fire was ignited in a barn accident. Also, today is Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes.
Formerly known as Columbus Day in some places, still known as Columbus Day.
Do they have school today?
Nope.
Okay.
I got my grandson too. That's another story. Got the baby.
Baby.
That's a rough little joke, but I digress. The baby. And so Indigenous Peoples Day is celebrated on the second Monday of October, and October 10th, which is today, it is to honor the cultures and histories of Native American people. The day is centered around reflecting on their tribal roots and the tragic stories that hurt but strengthened their communities. I like how they said that. So the first seeds of Indigenous Peoples Day was planted in the UN International Conference on Discrimination back in 1977. The first state to recognize the day was South Dakota in 1989. Berkeley, California, and Santa Cruz followed suit. And it says here, although the day was still considered Columbus Day up to 1937, many people began calling it Indigenous Peoples Day to celebrate the rich culture and the lives of the Native American people.
Hold on.
And Carla B say Pinellas County has school.
Okay.
All I'm saying about it is the Indigenous Peoples Day. People still celebrate Columbus Day.
Yeah.
I don't partake myself in the Columbus Day festivities, but I will salute and honor the indigenous, my people, my folks.
Say that again. What do you need to do?
How they need to do something about that.
Oh, okay.
So what you got there?
What do I have? Nothing.
I'm asking you.
Yeah. Really do that?
Give us a gift.
Cameras because
it's still Libra season.
It is.
It is still Libra season.
Are you still accepting gifts?
Yes, I am.
What can we try to get?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so if you know where I live at, you can drop it off at my front door.
Come to the high.
If you have Cash App, Well,
Mhm.
you can cash app it at Sweet Kiana. Well, Money Shine, Sweet Kiana.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Kiana. If you don't know how to spell my name, we're accepting you
Okay.
there.
Yes.
Another gift that we're accepting is stars for the Breakfast Club.
Ooh, tell me.
Right. So let me tell you about the stars. If you haven't sent them before, go to the bottom. If you're on Facebook, look at that share button. We're gonna ask you to share.
Yeah.
Right. Share. And tag a friend in the comment section, and then right next to it is the stars. If you
Not
never
all
heard
of
the stars
not
before,
the-
Facebook
the
sometimes
three
you
on
get your
the
first
after
200
I've
for
seen
free.
it.
If you get to those to us, we definitely appreciate it, right? Stars are a cent a piece. The more you buy, the cheaper they are.
Okay.
You send it to us, whoever our top star person is, we get you breakfast on Sunday. So if you do not know, every Sunday now we're at 22 South.
22 South, 642 22nd Street.
Right. And what we do is have breakfast. And then we have an open dialogue with our fans and our listeners. So we would love for you to come out there and join us from 11 to 12. It's a great vibe. The brunch is amazing.
Mm.
Yes, and bring a friend.
That's real.
Okay, and so we're back on the radio.
We been on
We're back on radio. We never left.
No, I'm saying they called me and said, I'm not hearing you on the radio. So
Oh, we were off.
yeah,
Okay, start back from the top. This
Okay.
is Big Breakfast Club.
yeah, y'all know who this is. They've been listening long enough to know who we are. And if you don't, it is the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John,
This is Kiana.
I am the one with Mr. Edmund.
and this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project, the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT.
See that?
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool.
Hey, I want to say shout out to Carla Bristol because I have borrowed her monitor. Remember she was the one and only Carla B.
Yeah. So now you can only miss it. Right on. Right on.
Shout out to Carla B.
I had one other story for this day in history too,
Okay,
y'all.
go ahead.
So Hazel Johnson Brown. Hazel Johnson Brown, she is the United States' first African American female general. The first
She
African.
just got that.
No.
Where she got that?
But wait, there's more. So Hazel Johnson Brown, the United States' first African American female general, the first African American chief of the Army Nurse Corps, and director of Walter Reed Army Institute of Nursing. She was born on October 10th, 1927, in Westchester, Pennsylvania. She became the first African American female general and first African American chief of the Army Corps in 1979. Her responsibilities in that position included being in charge of 7,000 men and women nurses in the Army and the Army National Guard. She's also responsible, or was also responsible, for oversight of 8 medical centers, 56 community hospitals, and 143 freestanding clinics in this country and around the world. Upon retirement, General Johnson Brown continued her service in education as a professor of nursing at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., and she passed away in August of 2011. Shout out to her. She was born today.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm powerful.
We got to lift up.
Yes. She had a lot.
Yeah. She was responsible.
She was the one
She had like big responsibilities. She had big responsibilities.
Right?
Yeah, she had big responsibilities, y'all. And that's actually another one of the projects. And so Mr. Loris Gibbons came to one of our neighborhood association meetings, a couple of them.
Okay.
And she has this celebration of Black excellence mural. And it's like a poster that she's taking around the city and posting it in different locations around the city. And work with her to see if we can get it, painted on the wall. Y'all know we do art in Challenge Park, right? Yeah. And so we got the Tree Big, Be Big. We got phases of Peace mural. We're doing the mural this Saturday where we paint it in the street. And we're going to see if we can get this celebration of Black excellence mural somewhere on a wall in Child's Park. But we're going to start by posting it.
That's right.
But it actually highlights Black inventors and all of the different things that we can
I like that a lot.
contribute to society.
Good stuff.
Child's Park has a really good president. Honestly, I don't know who that fella is.
Okay.
But I think his name is Brother John.
I heard about that.
Yeah, Brother John. He kind of gets the job done.
Man, we having a blast over here these days. I swear.
But listen, this is what I like. The work that goes from Child's Park, but it goes to like the whole city.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful attic of John.
I appreciate that. And again, this artwork, the art conversation is like, when we did the Dream Big, Be Big, shout out to Mike Jeffries, they gave us the wall at the food for us to be able to put it there. But it was because, again, we started seeing, a little bit of a disparity, and we wanted what we saw in other places in our neighborhood. And there's some beautiful girls along the trail. You come through Charles Park. Miss Teresa showed, she took some pictures. Shout out to Miss Teresa. And Miss Teresa take really good pictures. And she took a picture of the Unity mural along the trail. And so yeah, we're an arts community over here too.
That's
just quiet as a skill.
Shout out to the New Image Project.
Yeah, shout out to the New Image Project.
See that? So we're gonna have to take a small break.
Yeah, we are.
Right? It became really quick. We're gonna don't leave. Because we're not gonna be going.
We gotta
So for our radio audience, hearing Democracy Now, headlines, and then the radio will be back at 3:07. But we're gonna just kind of keep rocking out for those who are on Facebook.
So go to Facebook, like the page, tell Facebook, and you can follow.
Yes. Good morning, Shannon.
Real deal. We'll be right back for our radio listeners 7 minutes after the hour.
Yes. So you cut us off. Oh no, they can just hear us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, good morning, Shannon. So if y'all looking for a good pay lawyer, Shannon Lee.
Okay.
If you have like an accident, slip and fall, Shannon Lee.
Okay. I didn't
Yes.
know slip and fall either.
Yes.
I might have a case for you, Shannon.
Morning.
Morning. You hear this? That Jabbar said he might have a case for you, Shannon.
I see Fancy Nancy was tagged. Fancy Nancy was tagged.
She came back last week.
Her business is in Charles Park too. Yeah, right there on 49th Street. Up there by Patty's.
Yeah, we put together this business corridor. Yeah, we're gonna be hollering at you, Fancy Nancy.
Yeah. Oh no. For real. So that complex. You got Fancy Nancy in that complex. Cara Barbie's up there. Renee's daughter. She has her blue.
Oh, and then you see that Shannon saying, "I'm here for John Collins for District."
Thank you, Jennifer. She sent some thoughts, and she sent a beautiful letter, man.
So yeah, tell people I seen none of this.
Yes, officially I'm out for the position, the appointment for city council.
Congratulations. Thank you, my brother.
That was a huge step for me, man. Literally. I mean, it was just a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff I kind of went through in order to get to that place because I never really imagined that this would be something that I'd be doing.
Right.
And when it's on you, it's on you. So it's just like being led to do it.
Sometimes you can't shake it.
I couldn't shake it. It was like Jones. It's like Jones for real, man. Like I didn't want to do it.
Tell me this. Would you not, really wanting to be in the political field?
Yeah.
Right? Be a politician. How the transition gonna be to be a politician?
Well, that's the thing. That's a great question because my mama said, I talked to my mama.
My mama said,
my mama said, if you got to change who you are to do this job, then that job ain't for you. And so, we do politics, and you do have to be a politician, but my intent is really to continue to do what we've been doing.
Be who you are.
And just
this
do what we've been
got
doing,
you as far as you know.
So I just continue to work, man. And so we hope that the work that we've done has proven itself to be valuable, to the city. And this opportunity is for us to be able to take it, to another level and do more, not just like we've been doing it for the city. So we've done all kinds of citywide policies, but being in, as a representative of the district, it gives you a platform and a voice that you can elevate and be able to really expand and do a lot more work and get a lot more things done, being able to bring resources back to the community, really spreading that throughout, the city. And so like I said, we're just looking forward to continuing. We have the relationship, like I said, I just was shouting out Mike Jeffries and I've worked with a lot of the staff already.
So before this, right quick, let me give a shout out to Jennifer. Thank you for your stars.
Thank you,
Rosalind, thank you for your Renee. Thank you for your stars.
Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate
everybody.
Rhonda, thank you for your stars.
I see that.
So we appreciate the stars.
It's love, for real.
So Brother John, when you start this process, right?
Yeah.
You put the application in. Now what can people do to help?
So the people can actually send a letter of recommendation and support. You send it to council@stpete.org.
Council@stpete.org.
And just let them know you support your brother.
So when is the job interview?
So the job interview is Thursday. Thank you. It's this Thursday at 8:30. I think it's a few other candidates, and so
Wait, hold on. So this Thursday at 8:30 at City Hall. So can we come? Can we come?
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Are we gonna wear special colors? Or we just gonna come as we are?
it's up to you to
I'm not
decide.
like
It's up to you to decide.
I'm wearing all.
I'm trying to go get this job. Y'all figure out what to wear. I told you, look, and I really gotta do a better job of being a candidate. I'm not a professional candidate.
See, that's all right. That's all right.
So I'm gonna tell you. So I was out, so I was canvassing in Pinellas Park, talking to voters, and I talked to a beautiful lady. Her name
on another hand, this ain't got nothing to do with that job application.
No, nothing to do with that. But I'm out just in the field, doing what we do. Came back home and passing out flyers in the neighborhood because it was still a little bit of daylight. I had a couple, I just be pulling up, right? And so I'll be riding the neighborhood, pulling up on people. And so as I'm out, I'm passing out flyers, and I saw, a couple people that I knew, and I gave them the flyer. And then after it was over, I was like, oh, that's right. I probably should have told them to send me a letter. But it's just, I'm just trying to get the work done.
If
man.
it moves your heart, what the pastor said before the offering, if your heart so moves,
yeah. Then please, if you support the work, man, send us
no artificial letters. We want all the real.
Yeah. So we didn't create a form letter or a template or nothing like that. It's just it's totally up to you. If you have an experience with me or you're familiar with the work that I've done, and you want to see me, do it on another level, then send that letter in to City Council. We definitely would appreciate that.
Big dog.
You know what I mean? And so I think our radio audience, we're gonna bring them back in.
Y'all might say this again.
Yeah.
No, they ain't this.
Right.
This boat, everybody can get on.
All right. So we back on the radio. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
I am the one who knows.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka CDAT. And we would like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool.
What is cool? Okay, so again, it's Monday. Go ahead.
And Miss Annie. Shout out to Miss Annie. So
shout out to Miss Annie, man.
So what I'm going for, Miss Annie, she says, what is it Brother John's going for? So I applied for the appointment to the Open City Council District 7 seat. And so it's actually on my Facebook page too, Miss Annie. So if you want to shoot over there, you'll be able to see it. How I can do that.
I know, I read.
Did you bark going to the pulpit? Look, so one of the other things that's important when we talk about voting and civic engagement, y'all know, or you may not know that this program was actually started to support and advocate for Amendment 4.
Yep.
And so Amendment 4, is the Rights Restoration Amendment, actually restored the right to vote to returning citizens in the state of Florida. And so the platform was like really around. Like we were advocating, we were encouraging people to go out and vote on second chance, vote yes on second chances, and it passed. Now tomorrow is the voter registration deadline for the general election, and so we want to make sure that you all are aware.
We talked about that yesterday, but listen, tomorrow is the deadline
to vote for November election. Right? You got to understand the process because after tomorrow you still can register. You just will not be able to vote for the November election.
Right. We need your votes for a November election.
For real.
And if y'all ain't paying attention, you better do this for real.
And take a friend, because it's not our job to tell y'all who to vote for. It's just for us to tell you to make sure you go vote. So if you can register, go down and register. You know what I'm saying? Take a free to register. You know what I'm saying? Because the more people we get involved, the better the outcomes are.
That's absolutely.
And I'm going to say this because we hear it all the time that our votes don't count. If they did not count,
why they just stop?
I'm telling you, man.
I'm just saying.
And I'll tell you, just canvassing because I'm out canvassing, talking to people, encouraging them to vote. And I ran across a guy who said it was a Vietnamese gentleman too. It actually kind of surprised me. And he was like, "Man, I'm done." And I was like, well, "Why is that?" because he, saying that he didn't feel like it won't matter. He didn't think that, they're paying attention and that they're listening to us. And, a lot of times it's a lot of people who are disenfranchised because, you're not seeing the immediate impact of your vote.
That's right.
But I think the other part of this process, when we talk about voter engagement, is really understanding, like, as soon as you cast your vote, it's not a magic.
Yeah.
Right? People who are going to do the job, and then we have to support them as they're doing the job. So we have to continue to, what we've been calling co-governance for the past few years. You know what I'm saying? So don't leave your elected officials in there by themselves.
And I
go in there.
No, you first.
No, because I was gonna say, I see Carla say request your mail-in ballot. They've already been mailed out. We got some mail-in ballots at my house
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get those mail-in ballots off the counter and put them in the mail. But this is what I want to say, and I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of times when people do make those votes, some politicians do not do what they do.
True.
And they sit back and wait, and people do get disheartened because of it.
Right.
And we got to really address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We go in there and lobby these politicians to do what we need to do. We can't just elect them and hope they're gonna go in there and keep their word. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of people keeping their word, Biden just pardoned people with marijuana.
I saw that. Shout out to Biden for that.
He was running on that. The man said he was running on that.
Yeah.
The man said he was running on that, and the man came and he did it.
So why you say people like politicians keep their word? On the flip side of that, we have to vote so that they can keep their word. Sometimes it's not that they don't want to keep their word; it's just it's impossible because the chips are stacked against them.
How the process is.
So when the process, so like a lot of times we're ready to be like, oh, they're not doing anything. Their hands are tied. So again, we have to, you got to vote more people in, not Mike.
Just your candidate.
You have to get like-minded people into the office. So when you're looking at that, your judges, a lot of people skip over that. That's very important.
Yes.
We have to know all of this stuff, and we get to vote on it, but we don't educate ourselves on it. And then when we vote one person in, we think that they are our savior, but yet it's a lot of people that can stop them from getting it done. So we also need to make sure that we're getting people in that. Yes, that's of course it's you.
Hey, but I want to say that because a lot going on about the shoulders of our elected officials. Those people be stressed out because people's dreams and wishes are on their backs.
Right.
They're in a position where they're only one vote out of 8 or 7 or whatever
the case the difference is.
And so I definitely appreciate that because a lot of people do want to get it done, but it's just how the political process is stacked.
Right.
And then we only voting for 1 or 2 people. No, we got to vote for all these jokers.
Yes.
Right. Let them know that, yes, my vote will be voted casted against you or with you.
Right.
And it affects, how they do their politics.
And it's in order to register, it says that for your convenience, those who would like to register to vote, all 3 supervisor of election offices will be open. Let me see. It says they will open Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then they're also going to be open until 6 p.m. on tomorrow. And so you can go downtown on the St. Pete to the supervisor of the elections office. Like Carlos B said, you can also request a mailing ballot. Get your ballot by mail. That way you can really take your time because there's also referendums on the ballot. That's another thing when we talk about voting. Don't skip the referendums. Like really look at, these decisions that we're making because as residents and as citizens, there's certain things that they need our permission in order to do.
And what people don't understand, like the last referendum, it was a tax break for the wealthy that the people voted down by 86 votes.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
86 votes.
86 votes. So the politicians felt the need to put it back on the ballot.
Okay.
So we can vote it down again.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know what the people want to do, but they said they didn't want it.
Right. So you got to say that you don't want it again.
I'm just saying, because what they're doing is they're trying to run stuff down our throats.
Yeah.
So if you pay attention, some of the things that we need to be a referendum is not being put on the referendum, like housing.
Yeah. So that was the other thing. So like the referendum, when we talk about referendum and the ballot process, again, that's how the show started. It was a ballot amendment.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
we petitioned, we got it on the ballot. You know what I mean? And the people decided,
And they
that
voted
wanted-
yes.
They voted yes on second chances. But you also have local referendums,
Yep.
and these local referendums are put on the ballot, and then we as residents get to decide whether or not, on this
How we
election,
wanna move.
how we
Yeah.
want to move.
Yeah.
And what we were asking to be put on the ballot was the declaration of a housing state of emergency. Just to declare that it's an emergency, because I don't know if y'all paying attention, but it's an emergency. Like it's
very much so.
it's really, really,
Yeah.
really
They'll
bad.
call it a crisis. They'll call it imminent. They'll say a lot of things, but they won't say emergency because that triggers.
Yeah.
That triggers.
Well,
that
it gives you emergency powers.
Yeah.
Like you think about, we just had Eve. Like you just had
And
Eve.
Carla said that you can ask her for recommendations. Like
Okay.
she will.
She'll talk to you about that.
She will tell you.
She'll tell you about what those.
And I mean,
I'm making a slate card.
Yeah.
we
I'm
we
making-
said the
I
last
got a
time.
slate card. We just can't talk about it here. Yeah.
But we will talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But with the with the ballot referendums, here's the thing, and what we were asking for is the declaration of emergency, because when you have this emergency, you have things you can do, like with Ian. When they declared the emergency, that opens up access to be able to do different things. And the housing state of emergency, if it would have been put on the ballot, would have allowed us to be able to put a cap on rent. They call it rent control, but it's really rent stabilization.
Right.
To be able to say, like, we don't want.
You can't control the rent.
You can't control
So
rent.
that's a trick. That's a
Yeah.
trick name.
Yeah.
And they say that to trick people and make you feel bad about what's going to happen.
Right.
But you cannot control rent.
Yeah. But you can put a cap on the increase of rent
Exactly.
when you declare the
Yes,
emergency.
and that's not controlling it because they still can charge you anything for rent.
Right, but it
You
didn't
know
pass.
what I'm
But it didn't pass our city council, so that's not on your ballot. But there are things on your ballot that
we
really
did
want-
say no to before.
And
Yeah.
don't say that.
Yeah, so and we want you to take a look at that again. Again.
Yeah, I want to say big shout out Orange County because
Yes.
they put it on the ballot. And one of the things a lot of people don't know, the work that was done here in St. Pete, shout out to Brother John and the team.
Yeah.
The work that was done here influenced statewide.
Right.
So once this play was started here, they took that same play all around the state.
Yeah, and it's happening in other places,
And it
but it
will
ain't.
be-
But it's not happening here.
It's not happening here for legal reasons that were absolutely not legal reasons.
Yeah,
right?
it was just the will of, you got to have the will to do it, right?
Yeah.
And they have the will in Orange County.
And there was no will here.
Yeah, and they're doing it in Orange County. They're pulling it off, and so
And all the stuff that
I
they
don't
said.
know if anybody can see. Only fellas can really see my face.
yeah.
Right.
Well, they can see
I'm
it.
just
Just look
going
right there. I think I got a camera just so that if we want them
No, that's okay.
Okay,
They don't
really
want to
want-
see.
But I'm saying what the problem is, like there was a will in Orange County to just let the people decide.
right.
Because just making this emergency, it only triggers a vote.
Yeah.
That's not guaranteed.
Mhm.
Just like the tax incentives for that rich company
Right.
getting passed by 86 votes here in
Right.
St. Pete, that doesn't mean stuff is going to pass. What it does mean the people get to decide. That's all.
Yeah, you get
You know what I'm
people,
saying?
you get to allow the people to and that was the rub for me, is because like you're taking away the ability of the people to decide on what we want to do, and
Right.
you want to allow the voters to be able to make these types of decisions.
Right.
And it's a
Like they're
4-page.
doing with these leases, because there's like a dolly thing on there. It's like all kind of stuff on here that voters will be deciding
That they
on.
rushed to put on. Like it was like a last minute. Oh, we gotta,
And
you gotta do it right now.
this
Because
is
if
a
you don't
big
do it right now,
ballot,
it can't get
too.
on.
Yeah.
It's a big ballot.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Carla
what Carla
said, it's
said,
like
yeah.
it's 4 pages. So when you look at that, that could be very intimidating when you go to election day
Yeah,
and try to do it if you're not educated on it. It's going to be a lot of blanks and a lot of Christmas trees.
You know why?
Ooh.
They're calculating on that. They hope that y'all leave it blank. Don't leave it blank. Don't leave it blank.
yeah,
Don't leave it blank.
yeah.
If you ain't for it, mark that you ain't for it.
But if they don't know,
But see how people feel in their mind is all right. Well, if you don't know, you can't be for it.
Yeah.
See, that's the trick.
Ah.
See, I just showed you.
Okay, so I like that because if before you say yes,
You know.
if you
If
don't
you
know,
that blank, that means
so
no.
and
Not
that
for it,
also
you
means
don't
you
know.
got to get informed, and so you can request a
That's
mail
right.
ballot. You can actually go to votefornothers.org. You can get a sample ballot, and the sample ballot will actually show you
Okay.
what's on the ballot. You got to take your time to read the ballot.
Well,
but
next year
request
might
a
be
sample-
8 pages.
well, depending on how the vote comes out this year. That's why
Yeah.
this stuff is important, man.
Yeah,
And-
it's
and
very important.
it's very important that we be engaged. Carla B, she said, let me just kind of take some of these comments. It said, it can be intimidating to vote in person with a 4-page ballot if you have not done your homework. me see here. Tony Wells, he said from a citizen, please advise, trust all is good with you. Voting time. Received my ballot yesterday with several constitutional amendments that I like clarification on.
Yes.
Please, if you have impartial knowledge and able to explain the pros and cons of these constitutional amendments and City of St. Petersburg charters and referendum questions, please instant message me or call me. I do have your number to discuss with me, or if you have some type of information or website or pamphlet. Thanks.
Now, and we'll do a special show. I'm glad that
Okay.
question
We
came up.
can we can do a special
Yeah,
show
we gotta
sharing the
be here.
but
We
we
can
can
somewhere else and
Yeah.
talk about it.
but we
Yeah.
can do I was gonna say we can do one that does the pros and cons. It ain't saying that
And we actually have one being delivered this afternoon, no, this morning. And so
Okay.
the League of Women Voters, they have one that actually explains the pros and cons. They're going to drop it off at 9 o'clock this morning. Probably should have had it up earlier, and we could have read it. But
Don't worry about it.
yeah.
Because
But
Don't
but
worry
we'll
about
have,
it,
we
huh?
have a platform
Yeah.
and we're wanting to use our platform to help inform the community. That's actually what this platform is built for.
that's
So
right.
we will absolutely do that in the next couple of days. Because I know how the man that is. You're trying to get them in the mail.
This Mama Blue says Spanish only speakers also difficult if you have no knowledge of the candidates.
Don't worry.
And so yeah, that's important as well. To
We'll
get to
call
know
William
them.
Santana.
Oh man, look, you done just made up that man's name. I know who you talking about.
Oh, Alicia.
That is his name.
My bad. Alicia.
That
It's
is
Alicia.
yeah,
Alicia.
Alicia Santana.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all, you listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Gem Morning Show, right here on 99.1 FM WUJM. This is a publicly owned media resource, and as such, we rely on the support of listeners like you to continue to support the shows, to continue to really just keep things functioning and operating. And y'all can see we need stuff to help us function and operate. And so please send your donation. If you'd like to donate, you can go to 99jamstheberg.com and you can also make a contribution.
Right. If
Hey.
you want your ads played, like if you have a local business, like your ads, the station operates like that.
Yeah,
This is a real radio station. Y'all are listening
it's
to
real,
us.
real.
It's real. So
If you're in
like
your car, you hear us on the
Right.
radio.
Real.
Mama, I'm on the radio.
right, that part. So yeah, so like if you have some local ads and things that you want to just like get your business out there, do it over here.
Yes,
Yeah.
promoters. If you promote in a party night, club night, artists coming in,
Yep.
come on, holla at 29.1.
Yeah.
Get over the radio waves. If you're ready for all
Yeah,
candidates,
that's right.
right?
All candidates are welcome.
Yep.
Listen, I'm thinking about the campaign.
Okay. You have it. Thank you, Donna, for the stars. I appreciate that. Thank you for sending in the stars. But yeah, so definitely support the radio station. Here's something that I saw, when we talk about Hurricane Ian and the aftermath, because you still ride around. Some people may have forgotten already, but you see those, the remnants of the hurricane and all the stuff
Yes.
that was hitting in, man. But it's still people that are hurting, and they're hurting real bad in other parts of the state. And so definitely, continuing to send out shout outs and prayers and also ways that support them, during this time. So there's a lot of ways to support. There's I just posted this on the St. Pete Community Calendar page. There's like the Florida Disaster Fund. There's Ian Response Fund, which is more than 38 organizations across the state, including the Florida Immigration Coalition, Faith in Florida, and others. You can donate to them. So check out Faith in Florida. Metropolitan Ministries is doing some stuff. Feeding Tampa Bay is doing some stuff. And then you got a lot of grassroots people like I saw Kenyatta Rucker. She took some stuff, down down south.
Big shout out to them for that.
And so just get with people who are doing the work of helping other people because there are, even though it wasn't didn't get directly hit, there are people who still need help. But here was something that was like it got my attention. It was about Babcock Ranch. Y'all know what Babcock Ranch is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, glad you asked. So it's only 12 miles northeast of Fort Myers, but it's yet seemingly light years away. Babcock Ranch calls itself America's first solar powered town. It is a nearby solar array is made of 700,000 individual panels. It generates more electricity than 2,000 a 2,000 home neighborhood in a state where it's mostly generated by burning natural gas and plant warming of fossil fuels. And so the streets in this area are meticulously planned, it's well designed, with no floods in the houses. but they're highlighting Babcock Ranch. Y'all can Google Babcock Ranch as an example of what's possible when you design your city with resiliency in mind. And so, we've been working on this neighborhood resiliency collective, working on,
Yeah.
resiliency club concepts, and we're seeing how we as a community can be more resilient. And in that process, I came across this Babcock Ranch where they had very little impact, even though, um, they were there. So let me just say it. So when Hurricane Ian came through, it was a true test for the community. The storm obliterated nearby Fort Myers and Naples with record-breaking winds of 100 miles an hour. It knocked out power to more than 2.6 million customers, including 90% of Charlotte County. But all the lights stayed on in Babcock Ranch.
Mhm.
Um, it was developed by a former football player. He was a Green Bay Packer. He played for the Dallas Cowboys as well. And he envisioned this eco-conscious and innovative neighborhood that is resilient from storms like Ian. They broke ground in 2015 with this solar panel array, and they just like again a model for what you can do when you really design your cities and your neighborhoods for urban development. So shout out to Babcock Ranch.
Oh, I want to take a drive down there and look at it.
We do. We need to really take a trip. Like we really need to go see, what they're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
we work at experience. We call it fact finding.
Fact find. Yeah, we've done some of
Yeah,
those. Yeah, we went to those.
On the road.
hey, I got a news story. I really want to say something else about something else, but I won't say this.
I like.
Creative local.
Okay.
Best advocate to politician, Rep. Michelle Rayner.
All right.
I mess her name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. Good stuff.
Y'all know one. Shout out to Rep.
Yeah, you be knowing. You be knowing. Yeah. Said it's designed by ex NFL. Yeah. So you know about that.
Mhm.
That's what's up. But yeah, and so it's also October 17th, St. Pete Works Collaborative. It's led by St. Pete College. I got a St. Pete Works story, but I won't.
Oh, we need that. I'm for real. That's a way to the story.
Yeah, and so St. Pete Works. So St. Pete Works is a workforce development collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
When we took, we were doing surveys around the New Deal for St. Pete. Y'all remember
Okay.
when we did like
2017.
2017, early 70s, like late 16, early 2017, we started going out into the community talking about what we wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, there was the development of Commerce Park was one of the things that was on the table right there across from Atlantic Casino.
Yeah.
They were calling it Commerce Park. And so what we started doing as a part of this collaborative is we worked with Carl Evans, who was at PTEC. We were doing a lot when Carl was at PTEC.
Big shout out to her.
And PTEC is in Childs Park.
Yes.
And so working with them as a part of this partnership, we started talking about ways that we can prepare people to take advantage of the jobs that are supposed to come. And so we said we wanted to convene a conference where we bring in all of the different industries and see, what opportunities were available for those who, wanted to take advantage of them. That workforce collaborative, we started out with an idea for a conference to be able to convene them and coordinate. So it was piloted. The city actually put in a little bit of money that first year to pilot a workforce collaborative. But then the pilot was so successful that they basically, fully funded the collaborative, and it became what is known as St. Pete Works.
Wow.
And so St. Pete Works right now is a functioning collaborative. It has been, I want to say, after the pilot in maybe 17, 18 is when it started, and it's up and running, and it's being facilitated by St. Pete College. That was hundreds of jobs.
Oh, but once you facilitate that?
Yeah, I was program director over there for a
You
while.
was program director of St. Pete Works.
Yes, sir. And so,
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Let me get the timeline. So from helping advocate and almost great building,
yes, sir.
You later came down the line and was a program director.
Yeah, it was just kind of a. I'm feeling old because I got all these stories. I be telling stories now. I feel like an old man.
No, you don't.
But-
That means you have life experience.
Oh, okay. I take it. 'Cause it's like I got a story for everything now. And so yeah, it was works. It was kind of ironic, and I never did it for this. Like you were advocating for the program, wanted to have it, and then I was in transition with a job, and so I got a call from Mike Gelato, he was at first, and he was calling to ask me to be on his board. And I told him at that time, I'm like, Mike, I'm kind of stressed out with my volunteer stuff. I need a job. And he was like, oh, okay, let's have a different conversation right now. And so we had a conversation about a position that he had for a program director of the St. Pete Works program. until we transitioned into another role.
Transition.
Yeah, we went to another role. But it was a beautiful experience being able to help and see, come in jobs and services, because not only does it provide jobs, but you provide life skills training. We had the starters program. Shout out to Reno Moore, Bruce Moore, aka Reno, was facilitator of the starters program. So he was teaching people, the success training, readiness. I forgot what stars is. I forgot what it is. The program basically get you ready for job interviews, change dealing with
I think you spoke at one of the ceremonies.
And so, so he was instructing the stars class, dealing with mindset, attitude, and he was program director over there. And we were able to help a lot of people, man. And that program is still up and running. It's no longer being operated by Purpose over at St. Pete College right now.
Yeah.
And, but Purpose definitely still a partner, definitely intimately involved with Mount Zion, one of the partners. Another Opportunity Council.
Was it 2020?
2020 plan was involved as the evaluator of the program. So there's a lot of stuff happening. That's why I'm telling stories. How you bored?
No. I used to have coffee in the morning.
Right. Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't have coffee. I'm juicing, so I'm not, I'm doing something different. So I'm trying to.
Okay, so what kind of juice you had?
I had cucumber, pineapple, ginger,
Okay.
in here with some sea salt.
It was nasty.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I really wasn't that. Like, no, my mom did like the sea salt. She soaked it. It was like a pineapple sea salt.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
Okay. That's the same thing for Apple Seymour. But back to St. Pete Work. This is what I wanted to say about St. Pete Work before he made me tell my St. Pete Work story. October 17th, the St. Pete Works Collaborative, led by St. Pete College in partnership with the City of St. Pete, Pinellas County Urban League, PERC, and Pinellas Technical College, will present the 24th Annual Career Expo and Showcase of Services. This event is free to the public and will be held at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at PTech, or Pinellas Technical College, PTC. That's the Childs Park campus, 901 34th Street. Look how I said that. More than 60 social service agencies.
wow.
More than 60 social service agencies
Wow.
will be there, along with help resources like on-the-spot interviews, educational and employment assistance, mobile medical services, resume help, clothes closet, voter registration, education, because we missed the deadline, expungement information. So if you want to get your record sealed or expunged, they'll have information on how you can do that. If you need ID, there's assistance for people to get ID and a whole lot more. Again, it's going to be on October 17th at 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pinellas Technical College, and we'll be able to get the flyers and the information out to you as well on the St. Pete community calendar.
Wow.
I got some more stuff here if y'all ain't got.
Do you have your
That's I got all this so let me do this.
Okay.
I got the Get Hired St. Pete.
Okay.
Get Hired St. Pete Career Fair. Shout out to Harold Bryan. The city of St. Petersburg will be participating in the Get Hired St. Pete Career Fair, hosted by the St. Petersburg Anchor Institutions Initiative, and is supported by the Foundation for Health of St. Pete. The event will take place on October 19th. So that's going to be a big week. October 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Pinellas Technical College at the Childs Park campus. More than 100 entry-level to management roles are available, some with same-day hiring. On-site childcare and resume help is also going to be available. The employers who will be there, just so that you know who's going to be hiring there. Like, these ain't poop any jobs. Employers in attendance will be the City of St. Petersburg, Bayfront Health, St. Anthony's Hospital, and John Hopkins All Children's Hospital. The event is being hosted by who we mentioned earlier, and that information is also posted on the St. Pete community calendar page.
It is.
All right, cool.
So there's jobs out there. No, it's really jobs. It's holiday season. Like, holiday season is approaching.
Okay.
Right? You got Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year's. And then that means that families are going to be buying stuff.
That's true.
And so, like, if you have a job and need a job,
go see these people.
If you have no job and need a job, go see these people. If you have a job and you don't like your job,
go see these people.
The next couple of weeks is shout out to everybody putting out the resources.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
there's folks that need it, and we gotta appeal to the need.
And we would want to definitely connect y'all to to these needs and what's happening. So, and again, that's what the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is all about. All right,
I got a piece of story.
Go ahead.
I got a little piece of story.
Okay.
Kanye West.
Oh man, that ain't no
Did we
story.
talk about this yesterday?
No.
Okay.
Kanye West Twitter and Instagram accounts restricted.
Okay.
They cut him off. Cut him off in that corner. You
Okay.
can't just say anything you want.
What is this? I see. Look like we got hacked or something. I see somebody saying about some messages that they received in their inbox.
So we have not sent any messages, y'all. So if you received any messages from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, we have been hacked. We are targets, so we got targets on our back.
So just ignore it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's
It ain't up.
I'm gonna get on it right now, but just please don't open no letters from these people. We're not sending no letters out. We usually don't send nothing from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
That's true.
Yeah.
If it comes from us, we didn't send it.
And I mean, if it comes from us, believe me, we're talking about it.
Yes.
Because you're like, we're going to talk about it first. You're going to hear like, oh, we're going to send out invites or something like that to something we're doing. But typically, we don't. So listen.
But yeah, get the message from us and it don't look like it's us.
People lonely.
It's probably not us.
They ain't got nothing better to do.
Yeah. And so, go ahead.
And we're not going to tell you about like how to get like how to get Forex or anything else.
See no money to cash out.
None of that.
Look, we'll bring the Forex people in here and they'll be able to tell you how to do it. But
We're personally not going to inbox
we're not
you,
gonna
and we're not telling you that our company is giving away money,
yeah.
and you got to give us $100 to get the money.
And I don't want to not talk about that Kanye West story, but I kind of want to not talk about
Well,
that
don't
Kanye
talk
West
about
story. Because I think he gets a lot more attention, and that's what a lot of times that stuff is for, and it's a lot of nuances in that. So post it on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club for people to go and see what's going on.
No, I ain't posting that.
Okay.
Hey, look, we have no messages being sent from our page. So if y'all receiving messages, they got either a fake account, because that's not us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Y'all want to do Ask Kiana in the time we got left?
Yep.
Go. All right. So Ask Kiana. Let's see here. And Ask Kiana. So for those who may be tuning in for your first time, we want to tell you a little bit about what this is. So Ask Kiana is the segment where we talk about love and relationships, the highs and lows of dating, marriage, breakups. We talk about family, the challenges of being a great parent, brotherhood, sisterhood questions, and also self-help tips, overcoming low self-esteem, depression, finding balance, peace, and acceptance. And if you have a question that you'd like to send in, you can put that in the inbox, and we'll get it out here and read it on the air. And then Kiana, she'll respond. And then after Kiana responds, we'll also respond as well. So, Kiana, dear Kiana, it's been more than 3 years since I've spoken to my former best friend. We were best friends for nearly 15 years. The friendship ended when we were in our early 20s because she didn't like the men that I was dating. I also didn't agree with some of her choices she was making, which led to some nasty arguments. I communicate with her through social media as small talk, but it feels like I'm speaking to a coworker. I miss my best friend. I saw her not long ago at a mall. She didn't look like herself. I was worried for her. She let herself go. My life has evolved, and I feel I have grown up for the better. I would like to share those experiences with someone I considered my best friend for so long. Would it be wrong to bring up the past? How do I share with her the past was the past, and I want to get back to where we used to be?
Now I'm gonna say this: is that like if you feel like the need to go back to reconnect and do that, but you have to understand, just like you have evolved, she have maybe went to another path, and so you may not want this new person in your life.
Uh-oh.
You know, so before you start reopening up doors and inviting people into your life, you need to examine things first. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes we go back there and look at it, and God sometimes remove people out of our lives because they're not supposed to be there a lifetime.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that she's not, but you can have a friendship with her without her being in your daily life.
Okay. I unite with that. You got any thoughts on that?
No, that's killing.
Okay.
No, I mean, but it is true. What do y'all say out here?
It's one of them days.
Yeah, like, I mean, because I've had people that, like, because you can miss it from a distance, you know? Like you can.
It seems like the girl want the girl back in her life. That's what the letter about.
Yeah.
How can I get back?
But what I'm
getting
saying,
back with her?
I tell you what, if y'all have thoughts, call us and let us know what you think about the ask.
Carter say, tell it.
Yeah. You can call us 727-637-2416. Call us and let us know what you think about that.
But I mean, if she wanted, she can explore, but be ready that you're not gonna get that same version that you had back then.
Yeah.
For a good time, how long was that?
And like, do you want that, right?
Right, because
No,
y'all
the
had,
girl won't.
no,
She didn't say that. She said
The
that.
girl won't.
She said that. No, she said it.
What
She said it.
in the letter.
She said, I would like to share those experiences with someone I consider my
You
past.
get that? She won't come back. You know what I'm
She
saying?
did. Yeah, she did say she wanted
And then the other girl might not feel that way, but there's something else. She gotta ask the girl.
and then just think about this. So if she didn't like the decisions that you made back then, you didn't like her decision, and then y'all
But
done
that
had
seemed like boyfriend
no,
stuff.
but listen, but then y'all had a blowout, right?
Yeah.
Boom, y'all not friends. Now you done got yourself together.
You go to the blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, so then you done got yourself together from the letter. That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
she got.
And then you
she
see the
evolved
other
and
girl
she
don't
grew
look
up.
like she do. Now you come back in her life and she ain't got nothing together, is it? I mean, she might feel like you bragging, trying to be like. Hey, sometimes you're not you're thinking about
She's
it.
trying to pull up, friend up. Let me help you out. Let me put you in the right direction. I know some people.
So here's what I would say. I'd say because she says she talks to her on social media and it's small talk. If that's something cool, what I would say is like if you're trying to re-engage and reignite the friendship, invite her to go to coffee or something.
Right.
Like,
you don't have to go full in.
and you don't have to go full in, but like, hey, what you doing this weekend? Or, and kind of set up some type of appointment to go in. You know what I mean? And then just kind of catch up and check in and fill out and see where you at. I wouldn't really go into the past. She said let them know the past was the past. Now, if you got some unaddressed issues and you still holding some of those negative feelings, then you want to put that on
And
the
if
table.
you want to apologize for it, because I think for me, it's my responsibility. If I say I love you and I really care, and I feel like I did something, it's my responsibility to make right on it.
Right.
The trauma. The thing about trauma is unaddressed trauma.
Yeah.
And it looked like she's trying to address some of the trauma.
Right.
Shayna said. That's exactly what Shayna said. I'm glad you said it first, though. She said, sounds like she needs closure for unresolved feelings.
Right.
It feels like, okay, went through it. That was my girl. I'm doing a little better. She's doing bad. Let me try to holler at her.
Yeah. But that's just coffee.
I would say start in like go in there, like don't dive all the way into don't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can definitely because you might not like this pond.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be cool. Might be too cold.
It might be too cold for you, and what y'all do need is that distance. Have you ever went back to an ex because you think about all the good times? And then when you go and see, well, no, he ain't even married to one person. But have you ever went? I have. Okay, I have. And that because I'm thinking about all the good times, and I hung out with them, and I'm like, you know what? This is why we didn't make it. Let me get up and go.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, no,
I'll be transparent. I tried to break up with my wife a couple times. I tried. I was like, no, it ain't. No, but it was like
that didn't work either.
Not for me. She was good. She was like, she was good. She was like, all right, that's what you it's on you. Go ahead. Go live your life. I took another story. I remember y'all know my story, right? So it was like, I want to say I was maybe 18, 19. All kind of stuff was happening. And so I started hanging out with Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
Studying, I'm trying to get my life right.
You're trying to get your life together.
And so didn't really rock with them too good, but I started with the 7-day Adventist. My sister was 7-day Adventist, making I'd be pleased with it. And I'm like rocking. I'm kind of in with them. Yeah. And they was telling me, okay, now that you done got saved, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
okay,
we were living together.
Yeah, but you can't live in the same house.
So I'm really trying to do it. So, I'm like, praying to Jesus and like, man, I want to go to heaven. I don't want to die. So I moved out. You know what I mean? Like I really was committed. So I moved out, moved back with my mama. But you know what I mean? But we kind of split while, trying to do this same thing. It lasted maybe about a day or two. Maybe I think I took my stuff out. I ain't take all of it. Maybe about a week. I was gone about a week.
All of it.
And I was like, nah, you know, if I got to choose the church of my boo,
It's your boo.
God know my heart. My boo, my boo. And here we are 30 years later. But yeah, but that wasn't like a date situation. But we did kind of break up and make up and get back together.
And I mean, and when you say this, so even the ex that I decided, like, you know what, this not for me, boom, we're still friends. So it was okay to have a friendship, like, you know, 'cause you can change the dynamics of your relationship with people.
Right. It's just so funny now that I think about it. 'Cause my wife, not even
She want, you want me to, whenever you see you packing up and leaving, you always come back. The pack up is really not the pack up. So, like, you know what?
Okay, that's what it was. She really had that hot though.
No, because how many times I'm leaving? All right, you go and then you come. Listen, I've seen it plenty of times.
I love her, but she put up with me. Last thing I'll say, and then we're gonna have to get out of here and make way for Sister Hughes. I want to make sure that everybody knows that the Pinellas County Urban League is also now offering assistance with water bills. They do the electric bill assistance. So the lower income household water assistance program. It's a federally funded program that helps income qualified families with water and wastewater costs. It will assist eligible households by providing a grant to help pay past due monthly water bills. So if your water bill is past due, there's a grant that will help you do that. The grant amount is based upon the income of the household and your household size, and services available to all eligible households in Pinellas County. You have to have eligibility requirements, so you have to have a total income of no more than 60% of Florida's state median income. You have to be responsible for paying your water bill, a Florida resident, and a U.S. citizen. Reach out to the Urban League. It's pcul.org/housing, and you can get information on how you can get water bill assistance. Because again, when you make decisions about what to pay, sometimes you ain't got it all, and there are resources that are available to be able to help you.
So,
you ain't got it all.
Big shouts out to everybody. Always coming through in that way for our community. We've been coming through light bills for decades.
Yep.
I think this is just an added benefit.
It ain't all they but yeah.
Full disclosure, President of the League of Professionals.
That's what's up.
No, but I really salute you because what you're doing helps the community. I just and help people get some of their life paid.
Yeah.
Hey man, they Urban League.
And that part of this St. Works Collective, when we were at St. Works, we worked closely with Calvin, and we were doing those. I think we were doing monthly job fairs, doing like small scale career fairs every month, partnering with the Urban League. At St. Pete College, and we were doing some stuff at Campbell Parks. We were doing some stuff at Campbell Parks, Crossing Animal, and so they don't not only help with light bills, they're doing workforce development training. They have the style programs. You know what I mean?
There's way more light bills.
Yeah, but a lot of times when people think Urban League, they think light bills.
Yeah, cause like the average person, that's when they action
Right.
start.
Good morning, fans. We were talking about you earlier. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah.
So, brother John,
Yes, sir.
you did a big thing the other day.
Yeah, we did. Say we because I'm talking about me and God, man. And I applied for the city council appointment for City Council District 7C. We filled out the application, turned in the paperwork because we want to continue the work that we've been doing in our neighborhood and around the city. And so I'm actually thinking about just posting my resume so people can know, because a lot of people know me from Charles Park and the work from Charles Park. But we've done a new deal for St. Pete, which created this community benefits agreement program.
Benefits
Benefits the whole community. I was actually going through some old documents, and one of my first times speaking at City Hall. Here we go again with the story. So my first time speaking at City Hall was a part of Agenda 2010 program. And at that time, we were advocating for the creation of a Southside community redevelopment area.
Oh, the CRA.
That's what they called it. Yeah.
Oh.
So we advocated for that. And so
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was my first time. Yeah.
So you telling me your first time speaking at City Hall about the CRA.
So I presented what we called at the time the 15 points of progress.
Wait a minute, you presented. So you ain't just speak. She said it wrong.
Okay.
Presented
Yes, sir.
to the city council the CRA plan. When this was?
But it was a part of a larger plan. And so in the points of progress, it was, I want to say 20, maybe 10, 11, I forget now. But what we were advocating for, we were doing in our part of the agenda. I'll go back and find it. But as part of the agenda, we were advocating for the rehab and restoration of Manhattan Casino.
What?
Yes, sir.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we advocated for that.
Thank you, man.
I mean,
Thank you, man.
this is gonna be an opportunity. You've been asking me to tell a story.
Thank you,
So,
man.
so
Right, before you tell a story next, you do nothing but have a business.
what I did.
You had a business in Child's Park
Your
area. You
business
just
in
being
Child's
great.
Park.
Being you, yes, so that's what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
We're trying to direct some people over there to take advantage of your services. But yeah, so as a part of this agenda was the advocating for the rehab and restoration of Manhattan Casino. Fast forward and you see what happened with that. So, talking about results from your brother John, that was one of the things that we advocated for at that time. We also were advocating for the creation because what we found, and I'm gonna try and make it clear, what we were finding is as we were advocating for a lot of these programs, there was no dedicated funding source for the program.
Yeah, a program
Without funds.
It's not a program.
Yeah, it just, it's an idea. And so,
a lot of ideas.
they was doing a lot of ideas. Yeah, a lot of initiatives and a lot of plans and all of that stuff. And so we started really looking at how we can create a dedicated funding source so that we can fuel, some of these initiatives. And so, shout out to Larry Newsom. He was a part of that. And his mind is so brilliant. You know what I mean? And so
I got a call.
And so he, other members of the team, started talking about how we could develop this South Side Community Redevelopment Area, or CRA, and we were pushing for it, advocating for it. It didn't happen right away, like a lot of this stuff does not happen. But then there was a window of opportunity where they did a study on the county level. They found
I remember it went through the county. Yeah,
so because you have to have the county's approval because it's tax increment financing district. And so
that's why you make tax increment
finance, so it's a TIF district. And so in order to get the county to approve it, and so they did a study and they showed that in Pinellas County there was 5 what they call poverty pockets.
I remember the poverty
and South St. Pete was one of those poverty pockets.
Greenwood, I remember.
Yeah, East Hartford was another one. And so I think High Point was one of the other ones. And so once these poverty pockets were identified, one of the now we like, okay, well, look, we got stuff on the shelf that we can present, to address this poverty.
Wow.
And it was the data from the studies that they did when they identified the poverty pockets that justified the creation of the Southside CRA, which, by the way, was one of the first.
Not downtown. Because
usually
these redevelopment districts are usually downtown.
Right.
Downtown drag.
Right.
I want to say big shout out because Elman now has or working on ACR.
Yeah.
So that means that worked.
Yeah.
Like a reverberation.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
That's what it comes from. Yeah, but it reverberated and it expanded, it caught on, and it was done in other parts of the county.
Great work.
We started it here, and so and then there's a lot of people who benefited from it. I mean, it wasn't perfect when it rolled out. It's not perfect. It has. We still got to look at it.
It's a lot of stuff like you.
But we have we got it through, so we have something to argue. How about that?
Right.
Like if it wasn't
the conversation the conversation has to start somewhere, right? So once you put it out there, then we can start to tweak it to make it better. Right. But if there's nothing thrown out there, we have nothing.
Yeah. And then the other thing was when we was just nothing thrown out there. That's what we got. And so but we were intentional about how we talked about the creation of the CRA. We wanted the plan to reflect the ideas of the people. We said investing in people, not just property and buildings. And so
I first heard that, Gypsy first said,
well, that was one of the things that we brought because I was coming with asset-based community development. That's what I'm about. And so not just looking at what's missing, but seeing what's there and what's possible and what you can do with what you already have.
Probably always look over what we already have.
So to sum it all up.
Yeah, because we have to
We
sum it all
got
up.
to sum it all up because
Yeah.
Well, email us.
yeah, that's sum it up right there. There you go.
So yeah, so the point is we want to continue that work. And so by going to city council, like that's some of the stuff that we did, as everyday regular citizens. And so we're looking at this as an opportunity to be able to invite other people into the process. Y'all know I'm all about civic engagement. Just sharing a post of, us in the neighborhood of years of civic engagement because we really want to bring people. Yeah, so we want to bring people, and invite the people to the process and open it up so that you can see how this stuff really works and really get engaged and see why your vote matters and see why it counts and see what happens when you don't exercise the power of your vote, lifting up your voice, even if you're not eligible to vote, because we do have some returning citizens that's still in the transition. You might have some fees and fines or some different stuff that you need to take care of. There's ways that you can be involved in the process, and we want to start to show people like this is how you can engage, and that's what we intend to bring to the council with a few other things that we're talking about as well.
So do 100% of whatever you do.
So yeah, send a letter to council@stpeace.org if you think that I'll be good for the job. Tell me your brother John experience. We're gonna see what happens. We'll be back on Wednesday. Y'all want to get final thoughts?
Oh yeah, my thought would be send an email to Brother John. This is not an election. This is a job. This is an appointment. And so the inner workings are kind of different. So make sure you reach out to this council member. Let them know what's done.
I want to back off that vote. Well,
Yeah,
the vote. Yeah, no. Thursday, we can go in here for this. I mean, he needs all our support, so I'm going to ask for the support. Also, I'm going to say I started out a little bit earlier and said do 100% of what you can do, right? And so, like, if you're a returning citizen and you believe in the process and you can't vote, talk somebody else that can do
That's
it.
what he did.
You know what I mean? Right.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Because he was talking to me about voting in the election
and
stuff. And he couldn't vote.
Jabbar did a lot of jobs, and we were hand in hand with this together, and he couldn't vote. So,
but he got a whole bunch of other people.
Still do the work.
And we voted, so now you can vote. How about
Right.
that? We voted, so you can vote.
So when you see the product, wow, and it's like, boom, that's why it's important for me to vote, man. Thank y'all so much.
Right. So yeah, that's all I'm saying is do 100% of whatever you can do and whatever that looks like. Okay. And yeah, enjoy life. Write down those 5 things at the end of the day.
Real deal. It's more that needs to be done. It needs to be said. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on this. What you called it earlier? Get money.
Get money.
Y'all making a great day. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
And we out. Y'all take care. Believe and do good.
Yeah.
Start off.
Yeah,
we got to know the rules.
Who started off in the Rocky? And